Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Story, and today we are going to be judging if you are overreacting on Reddit. Of course, all of these, as per usual, have updates, so I will be reading them as well as the updates, any sort of conclusion there are, and then we are gonna just be judging. Are they underreacting? Are they overreacting? Was it just the right amount? So yeah, all of them are spicy, dramatic. Grab your popcorn. So if you like hearing drama but don't like being a part of the drama, you're in the right place. Me too, bestie. Go ahead and follow, subscribe, whatever the term is on whatever you are listening or watching on. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you are on YouTube and can hit that hype button, it is only there for about the first week. It helps my channel reach more people so that even more people can see it and join our community. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into today's episode. I'm Grace Story, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. I guess I should probably address the elephant in the room. If you're new here, this is Luna. He is my doggo. He's a little grumpy gills today, but he wanted to join me, at least for now. I'm not sure if he'll be here the whole video. He is going to be judging with us. So if he acts a little grumpy, he's just in a bad mood. We all have them, but let's go ahead and jump on in. Am I overreacting? Girlfriend deleting text with her acro-yoga partner. So the original post was posted December 30th, 2025. I'll try to keep this short, even though it's a long story. Her, 21 female, and I, 22 male, have been together since high school, and we have never been with anyone else. Her and I were always very close. We really had no other friends. All of a sudden, a few months ago, she became very social. She started making lots of friends at her CrossFit gym and got close with Adam, 45 male. I'm clocking that age gap. Also, CrossFit? Okay, no offense to anyone who does CrossFit.
Elmo's gonna judge you!
But it is a little culty. It gives cult just a little bit. I know people who do it and they're lovely people, but you are either like all in or you don't do it. It's not like you go a couple times a week. So yeah, I would see how she became very social because, like, it's your entire life. Little spooky. Her and him became partners for a competition together, which required extensive training, sometimes going into the night, and they also became acro-yoga partners, which is intimate couple yoga. Okay, let me guess. She said that they were doing that because it would help with, like, CrossFit and help with, like, any soreness and stuff, which may be true. But in my opinion, it's still crossing a line. I don't know. I was never okay with this, and I unfortunately was too nervous to speak up about it. Over time, I hinted at how I truly felt, but didn't tell her that it was not okay with me until a couple months of this happening. Throughout this time, she and him became very close and texted nearly every day. Mostly friendly stuff. I might say he was testing the waters with some flirtatious stuff, but I also could just be paranoid. Eventually, I manned up and told her I wasn't okay with her being this close to this guy. I told her she can be friends, but I don't want them texting like this or doing acro-yoga together. She agreed to stop both, but not too much later I found out she was still texting him, but deleting the text messages so I wouldn't see them. She stopped talking to him after I discovered this until she decided to attend his going away party as he was moving away. Luckily, he's gone, but if he wasn't, I imagine they would still be hanging out. Now, to me, this is screaming emotional affair. They did talk about relationship issues at times, but the fact that she is so connected to this guy that she can't stop and hides it from me crosses the line. It's been about 2 months and we've been very distant. I've been away, and we've been sitting with this. She begs me every day to come back, saying she wants to start over, and now she sees what she did wrong. The thought of losing her hurt so badly, but I feel like I would have no self-respect if I stayed. Am I overreacting about her deleting these texts? Is this worth losing a 5-year relationship over? Oh, I did not realize it was initially 5 years. Okay. Wow. There's a few things I want to say. So 5 years means you started dating when you were 18 and no. Sorry, guys. I'm still sick, so math ain't mathing.
You are something. You are definitely something.
16 and 17, I think. So I think that not that everyone needs to explore what's out there before they, settle down. I have a lot of friends who married their high school sweethearts and they're happy as far as I can tell. My sister married her high school sweetheart. She's fine. They're happy. So it makes me wonder, like, if that's a part of it where she was just, like, curious because she hasn't known anything else, because even if she had, just, like, as an adult, she's only ever known this relationship. Not that that's okay. I'm just kind of trying to get in that mindset. It's obviously not okay. I just with you both being so young, I think that that played a factor with you not wanting to set that boundary, and moving forward, you do need to be clearer. Like, you can't just hint at it because that starts the whole passive aggressive back and forth, because I feel like you're gonna grow to resent someone, and then the hints that started off kind of, like, nice and really, like, non confrontational will soon become more passive aggressive. So when you have boundaries like that, you should just set them. Now, do I think that she should have known that those boundaries were a thing and she shouldn't have crossed them regardless? Yeah, but I think that that's also an age thing. Like, if you guys were older, I would be a little bit more judgmental with, like, she should know that, like, doing acro yoga with a 45-year-old man when she's in a relationship is probably not a good idea. But I'm also thinking about that relationship dynamic, and maybe she felt kind of pressured and like she couldn't speak up. And when he would suggest things, she would be like, oh, okay, like I'm going to go along with it because he probably knows he's a little bit older, whatever. So I don't know if she was like cheating and was super malicious, or if she was just naive and like never got to the point where it was super duper flirtatious or crossed the line to cheating, and she genuinely just was, like, oblivious and didn't know better because of the age. Either way, I think that you should take some time apart just to grow up a little bit, because I feel like this dynamic could work, and I don't think it's too far gone, but I also think that you both have a little bit of growing up to do and kind of learning what you want and what you don't want, and if that's each other, you can come back and, like, evaluate that. But I think you just need some time apart to cool off, especially if it's been a couple months and you're still, like, upset about it. There is an edit. It says, "Thank you for all the advice. I'm going to try and end it when I get back to town in a couple of days. I'm terrified that I get sucked back in, but I'll try not to." And by the way, sorry if I sound weird. I'm still sick. I'm literally gonna go bed rot after I film this. I just like, ugh, nothing's making me feel better. No medicine. So sorry, guys. I know. Relevant comments. Commenter one said, "You're not overreacting, but also, why don't you have any friends who aren't the other? In a codependent relationship that's been together since high school, it makes a lot of sense that the first guy she goes to acro yoga with, how did she even find a class like this? Suddenly shows her the world is much bigger than you. If you choose to leave this relationship, make communication and external relationships a priority in your next one." And OOP said, "I literally have zero friends. This is why this hurt me so badly." I do agree. I didn't even touch on that. I am a firm believer that you should be an independent person outside of your relationship. Hot take, I know. You should have friends that is like your group of friends. You should have friends outside of your relationship. You shouldn't be whole because of this person. You should be whole without this person, and they should be a part of your life because you want them to be there, not because you absolutely need them to. Like, obviously, emotionally, like, I need my boyfriend in my life at this point. Like, I love him, and I'd be really, really, really upset if he wasn't in my life anymore. But from, like, a social and things like that, like, you should be whole, if that makes sense. Like, you need them in the sense that you love them so much you don't want to be without them, but you don't need them. Is that making sense? Is that clocking?
No, no, no.
I don't know. So, it's kinda weird you don't have friends, because, like, if you had friends since like, you've been dating since high school, what happened to your high school friends? Because a lot of times when you stay with your high school sweetheart, you just stay in that friend group. So, I am curious, not that that's every single situation, but I feel like a lot of times, at least where I'm from, it is. But yeah, I feel like it probably hurt you a lot more because you weren't just losing a relationship, but you were losing, like, your best friend and your lifeline, and you would be, I guess, like, truly alone in a friend sense without it, which makes it hurt so much more and really pushes that codependency issue. Oh, also, there's so many layers to this. I wanna say that the only thing that the girlfriend did wrong, I should have said this earlier, is lying. Obviously, she shouldn't have lied. I don't think that that was, like, the be all end all, but she definitely shouldn't have hid messages from you. She knew that was wrong. If she was deleting messages, she knew that was wrong. So, I don't agree with that. That was wrong. But outside of that, I think that it could be her just being kind of, like, naive. So I did wanna say that. I totally forgot that was a whole thing. But OOP did respond to a commenter that mentioned ending the relationship and doing what's right for himself because his girlfriend was hiding things from him. And OOP said, "This post validated me a bit, but before this, I didn't really know if I was overreacting or not. Our families are very close, like super close. At this point, it would hurt many more than just her and I." And then that commenter responded and said, "Hey, that hurt that they might feel is on her. She put her relationship with that guy above yours repeatedly. She lied about him and continued it until he was gone, not until she chose you over him, until he was no longer an option. It's only now that he's gone that she was trying to get you back. All negative consequences of her actions are hers to own, not yours. Don't be your second choice just so everyone feels better." And then OOP said, "I honestly want to tell her parents what she did so I don't feel bad about splitting up. I know that is probably toxic and horrible, but this is one of my biggest reservations." Okay, you guys are kind of convincing me that what she did is way worse than I thought it was. Like I said, I have sick brain, so I'm not everything is like clocking. I'm not thinking the most right now, but yeah, you're right. I wouldn't feel bad about telling them. I wouldn't like run to them, but if they ask why, I would say what was going on. You don't have to go into detail, but be like, "Yeah, she was hiding a lot. She was spending a lot of time with another man and like lying about it, and I didn't feel comfortable with that." This is what I was curious to know. Is the acro-yoga partner in a relationship? He is divorced. So there is an update from 6 days later. "She told me I could go through her phone yesterday as there was nothing else she was hiding. I did, and I found a text to her sister in which she said, 'I kissed Adam at his going away party,' and shortly after, well, he kissed me."
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
There it is. Okay, that's where she knew what she did was wrong. And I bet you the reason she told you could go through her phone is because she had time to delete what she thought was everything. But she left one text and you happened to find it. This kiss happened 2 to 3 weeks ago. Throughout these 2 to 3 weeks, she's repeatedly reassured me that nothing happened. Even kissing when I asked specifically. Okay, yeah, no, leave her. This is done. She said he ran down as she was leaving to say bye and kissed her. She said that she pushed him off and he instantly left. But I don't know if I can believe that. She said the kiss lasted for 1 second. I wouldn't believe it. Because if that was the case, like if she is capable of lying about all these things, why would she not lie about that too? Like, whether it happened or not, you can't trust that what she says is true because she's lied about everything else. I hate myself because somehow I still feel bad for breaking up with her over this. She didn't kiss him. He kissed her. Maybe, allegedly. She was just naive to his flirtatious behaviors that I warned her about repeatedly. Okay, yeah. I see your point, guys. I'll eat crow on this one. Why should I punish her for what he did? But at the same time, I don't think I can ever look at her in the same way again. I don't 100% believe the story she told me, and although I'm most certain that they didn't have any spicy time, though I was mostly certain they didn't kiss too, I feel there was a bit more behind the kiss for her than she describes. She's begging me to try again. We've been together for 5 years and have never been with anyone else. I have had 0 friends over the past 5 years, only her. So did you cut everyone off when you started dating? Was it like one of those where you're like, the whole world revolves around this girlfriend and everybody else is no longer like important? This is why we don't do this, guys. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut her off, big dog. It's the end of the rope for her. You're never gonna be able to trust her again. And you're so young. Why would you want to like do that? Why would you want to be with someone who's already cheated on you once and have to rebuild and maybe never be certain again when there's so many fish in the sea and there's someone out there who won't cheat on you and you won't have these questions? I wish I had a bit more self-respect to just end it. I can't imagine a life without her. I don't know if it's self-respect. I think you're just scared, which is normal. Side question, I'm considering reaching out to her acro-yoga partner to let him know how much of a piece of, he is. Is this a bad call? He knew she was in a relationship. I wouldn't. I mean, he knew. He clearly didn't care. I wouldn't even, like, you're just looking for a fight at that point, and I think that it looks better on you to just let that go and not start fights than to do that. Like, Karma's got it. You guys know where my stance is. There are times when I'm like, let's do the petty thing, but for the most part, Karma will handle it. Commenter 1 said, have you asked her why she chose to lie to you instead of be honest about what happened from the start? Don't reach out to the guy. That will just give him the opportunity to be rude and disrespectful to you directly. He does not care what you think of him. OOP said she was trying to protect herself. She was aware of it. I am too. I get it. I understand why she wants to protect herself. She said she was planning on telling me eventually, but I honestly don't believe that. Commenter 1 responded to that and said, protect yourself from what? I assume she means you. Do you have a temper? Yeah, that was my confusion. No, OP said, no, absolutely not. For me, as she doesn't want me to get mad at her. She doesn't want me to break up with her. I absolutely don't have a temper and would never lay a finger on her. Sometimes when I get really mad, like last night, I yell. That's the extent of it. I don't think that that's protecting herself then. I think that that's just being selfish. Like, she just wants an outcome, and so she's manipulating the situation to get that outcome at the expense of, like, you and your relationship. So, commenter 3 does bring up the good point of a kiss was forced on her, not right of her to lie, but she's saying some guy just kissed with no warning, which really isn't her fault. Maybe she was scared to get mad or do something to the guy over a kiss that in her mind they'd already moved on from. She still has to go to the gym, and I don't know if it has some influence over the social circle there. Might make her life harder, plus she went through a creepy experience some might not want others to know. She should have told you, though. I think having a conversation about honesty in the future and ask that she cuts off contact with that guy since he's disrespectful of both of your boundaries. And then edit says, ugh, sorry I missed this, said an update. It was very stupid of her to stay in touch with that guy when you said no. He may or may not have forced a kiss on her, but then she lied about it. Maybe it is all just one big innocent mistake on her part, but she's got to learn. And you should consider moving, and she can fix her behaviors up for her next partner. You shouldn't put up with it. Yeah. OP responded and said he moved away the day after she kissed him. Luckily, he's mostly cut off. He still sends her Instagram memes, which makes me furious. This man is 45 years old, spending... grow up. I'm sorry. Like, I'm usually that person that's like, let's add whimsy and fun into, like, adulthood. Like, well, this should be more fun. But a 45-year-old sending Instagram memes to a, 21-year-old, 22-year-old? He's a loser. Ew. I got the ick. Honestly, just don't believe that she didn't reciprocate the kiss. She chose this guy over me multiple times, which has led me to believe this crush is a little bit less one-sided than I thought. Thank you for your advice. Yeah. I think... Methinks that it wasn't as much of a, like, he forced himself on her situation and more of, like, a... she kind of knew it was coming. I'm not saying that we shouldn't believe women. We should always believe women. I'm one of the first people to be like, no, if a woman says this, we believe her. Always. But the evidence is looking a little suspicious. And I think that even if he kissed her and it was like that, like if it was genuinely that type of situation and she feels safe with like her boyfriend, why wouldn't she tell him and be like, I'm so shaken up by this. This just happened. I don't know what to do. I'm not okay. Like, I don't know. Everybody handles things differently. But yeah, that's the last update. What do you guys think? All of these will be linked down below if you want to read all of the comments. I don't think you were overreacting. I just think that life is too short to put up with someone who doesn't respect you, even if it's intentional or not. Because for a minute there, you guys know, I was like, maybe it's not intentional. Like, she just doesn't want to hurt feelings and she's in an awkward position. But at the end of the day, like, you're her boyfriend and her loyalty and respect should be towards you and, like, shouldn't really care about anybody else's opinion of her. And that shouldn't affect, like, whether she texts them or not, goes to acro-yoga with them or not. Like, she should know what a respectful boundary is. Moving right along. Am I overreacting that my girlfriend, 38 female, keeps a logbook of our conversations and I think I'm losing my 34 male ability to remember things correctly?
What did you just say, Bill?
Original post is from April 4th, 2026. I don't really know how to start this. I'm a pretty logical guy, I think, but as of late, I honestly feel like I'm glitching. My girlfriend is pretty great, and our relationship has been really good these past 3 years. But we have these alignment meetings every Sunday that she insists on. She says it's for healthy communication, but here's the weird part. If I bring up something she said, she'll pull out a notebook or like a spreadsheet on her laptop and show me her notes. They are so specific too. For example, she'll say something like, actually, at 6:15 p.m. on Tuesday, you agreed to come with me to the party at Caitlin's and Ryan's, her coworkers. Here's the transcript of what you said. The thing is, I don't remember saying any of that. I don't even like her coworkers. They bore me into a coma and make me want to drink pints of vodka. I could have sworn I said I couldn't go because I had work stuff to catch up on, but that she should absolutely still go and have a great time. But she has it written down. She even had little audio snippets she's recorded for context. Whoa, okay. What kind of snippets? Is it just like her talking? Is it like the whole conversation? When I tell her that I feel like I'm being interrogated, she gets really, really nice and says something like, I'm just worried about your memory, babe. You've been under so much stress with your work. I'm just trying to keep us on the same page, and I love you. Last thing, I found a folder on her computer yesterday labeled language calibration, which is strange. But what's really messing with me is it's full of notes and descriptions of how I respond to certain words. And it looks like she's categorized my moods based on my text syntax. I feel like I'm living in a lab. Am I being paranoid? I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I keep going back and forth in my head between I'm just being paranoid and no, this is actually really weird. I have two trains of thoughts. My first one is she is like the final boss of gaslighters, and she is just like playing chess while you're playing checkers, which should never be something in a relationship. And then my second thought is she either has some sort of mental illness like OCD, such as, you guys know I have OCD, pretty severe OCD, and you do things like this for your own sake because a lot of times you're in your head where you're like, oh my gosh, I said this, I said that. What if they took this the wrong way? Da, da, da. So I don't go to this extreme, but there are times where I'll like write something down, something someone said or something like that, so I can make sure that they really said that later and I'm not just like gaslighting myself. So either she has like some sort of mental illness or trauma where she was gaslit. And so she's writing stuff down so that she can refer back to it if you try to say that you can't. But you had no recollection of this. This is really weird. It's the recordings that I'm so confused about because AI is a thing, but I don't know how good it is. Like, are these audio snippets like crystal clear, there's nothing in the background? Or are they like sound like they're in your house, have typical sounds? I'm so confused right now. This is breaking my brain. The language calibration, that's weird because I understand like, oh, they're in a bad mood. I'm going to talk to them about something when they're in a better mood. But the like this is just taking it to a whole other level. Like this is manipulating you based on your mood. And it's kind of insane. Also, going back to the whole logbook, she should feel safe enough with you that she doesn't have to keep tabs on your relationship. Like if it was a trauma thing or a mental illness thing, like she should feel safe enough and trust you enough that you're not going to lie to her, that she doesn't need to write down every single thing. Like I said, there are certain things I'll write down more so for me than for other people, but it's not like I'm keeping a log of every single conversation we've ever had, especially with people I really, really care about. So it's weird. Like, whether it's the trauma mental illness side, she should trust you more. If it's the gaslight lighting manipulation final boss side, she's taking you for a ride. Relevant comments. Commenter 1 says, this sounds like she's seeing how far she can gaslight you. I don't like it. Does anyone else think you have memory problems, like at work, etc.? OOP responded and said, that's the thing. It's literally only in these specific conversations with her. It's exhausting feeling like I'm going to have to record every word I say just to prove I'm not crazy. Do you have Ring cameras? Because if you pay for like premium, I think that you may be able to like look back, but maybe if she's smart enough to do this, I guarantee she's like waiting until after it deletes from the Ring camera. Commenter 2 said, here's like a paragraph they gave them to tell their partner, and it says, hey honey, we need to talk. I noticed you're using notes to record the substance of our conversations, and I also saw the language calibration folder on the computer. This stuff makes me feel like I'm at work, permanently being called into meetings by HR. I don't want to live like that. Do you think you can give up your notes and computer folders? If you really need that to feel safe, then I feel we may not be suited for each other. And see how the conversation develops from there. OP did respond and say she actually works in HR. That checks out. This is all making way more sense now. But these types of convos with her end with me feeling crazy, or somehow the convo got steered somewhere completely different that midway through, I'm not even sure how we got there. I don't necessarily think that having a meeting every Sunday where you guys just get on the same page about, like, the week or where you're feeling, that's not a bad thing. I think that's actually really healthy. It's like the bringing up things and having evidence that's just a little too convenient that's the problem.
He's crazy.
So here is an update from the next day. Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick update and say thanks for all the input. Honestly, it seriously opened my eyes to how messed up things actually were. And thanks for not completely roasting me and calling me a dumbass, even if you were all definitely thinking it, lol. I don't think you are. Like, I genuinely think most people wouldn't know what to do in this situation because it's like if you're dating someone and you're this far in with them, you guys are older, I would be like, no, they would never do something like that. Like, I would be gaslighting myself, like, oh no, like, they care about me. They would never do so. Like, I'm reading way too far into this. Reading through the comments really was a shock at first. I brought it up to her yesterday and asked about the logbook and the notes. She didn't get mad. Actually, she didn't really show any emotion whatsoever on her face at first. It was weird. It was almost like she wasn't sure how to feel about it and just looked at me. Then, she basically said that what she did was for my benefit and because she wanted to be the perfect girlfriend. Which, okay, maybe that's what it was, but just taken way too far. See, going back to the trauma thing, I was thinking like she has this deep need to be loved. It could go that direction. Like she's like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm the perfect girlfriend because like in the past I was told I'm not enough. So I could see that, but it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense at all. But I'm also very laid back and really couldn't care less about perfect, and I've mentioned that and she knows that and I brought it up. Then she said she just has anxiety and wanted to make sure she said the right things so we wouldn't fight. And I thought about that too, but it didn't add up. I've literally never gotten angry or fought with anyone, let alone her, since we've been together. It's just not who I am. I don't really get angry. I'm generally unfazed by most things. I told her I needed some space, and I thought it would be best if I moved out for the time being, and then I was going to grab some stuff after we were done talking, and then I arranged to get the rest in the very near future when I could. No emotion from her whatsoever. It was the strangest thing I have ever experienced. That's when I realized I wasn't in a normal relationship anymore. She was like, if that's what you want to do and someone is here just trying to be supportive and help you become the best version of yourself, I can't really describe it. You had to be there. All I know is the whole thing was really off. I feel kind of stupid for letting it drag on this long, but mostly I'm just relieved to be out of there and able to just think. I really appreciate the reality check you gave me, and I'm so grateful for the time you took to comment and share your thoughts. Am I overreacting? No. Honestly, I wish you would have reacted more. Like, I need more. That was the last update, and I need more. Like, what do you mean? So commenter 1 asked for info and says, has she always been this deadpan, or is this robotic nature a new thing? And OOP said, no, definitely new thing. Never saw anything even remotely close to this with her before. Okay. And someone did ask if she has autism or something, you know, non-neurotypical, and they said this sounds very non-neurotypical. And OOP said, not that I'm aware of. I've been in my head just trying to find other things that maybe I missed that would help make sense of everything. Which I feel like sometimes deadpan is something that like autistic people tend to do, but he said it's a new thing. So I don't think that, like, I think he would be aware of that. So commenter 3 jumped in and said she's a sociopath who needs notes to fake emotions. And commenter 4, someone else said, you hit the nail on the head for real. A regular person would have some sort of emotion after finding out. But she knew she was busted and was basically mad about it. Nope, he said that's what it felt like, 100% just mad about the whole thing. And then another commenter said, sounded to me like she was trying to use neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, to train or control you. Oh, I don't know anything about that. But wow, okay. So I'm still confused. Like, she would have had a field day with me because I don't know what's going on. I'm glad you're out of it. Hopefully you stayed out of it. But yeah, what do you guys think? What is your experience with anything like this? Because I've never heard of anything. Obviously, I've heard of gaslighting, but taken to this level, crazy. We are going to read one more, so don't go anywhere. Don't forget to comment your opinions if you're on a platform where you can do so. I am sharing mine, so it's only fair you share yours. But we are switching gears to a little bit of a wedding story. Am I overreacting? Shady bridesmaid hijacked a wedding shower. Original post was February 4th, 2026. Throw away because I don't want this tied to my main. My sister is getting married and asked me to be her matron of honor. which I was thrilled about. I love my little sister, and she was my maid of honor when I got married a few years ago. We talk once or twice a week. I have a little one at home, and she's younger, very social, staying out of late type. She's planning a big wedding. Lots of people, lots of moving parts. As a matron of honor, I'm expected to lead planning for the bridal shower and bachelorette party. Since the shower comes first, I asked my sister what vibe she wanted. She said elegant. Perfect. I told her I'll organize with the bridesmaid and report back to her ideas that she can choose from and approve. I asked her if she had any ideas already, and she said no, but wanted to see what we can come up with. She did say she wanted something that would accommodate a lot of people. I created a group chat with the bridesmaids to start planning. There are 3 other bridesmaids. 2 are my sister's childhood friends. I know them, sweet, collaborative, great people. And 1, I didn't know. Let's call her Shady. Shady is actually in the main group of friends of my sister's future husband. They included her as bridesmaid rather than on the groom's side for symmetry in the wedding party, where my sister's getting to know her more and she's becoming one of her friends too. We planned an in-person meeting to brainstorm ideas. Everyone showed up on time, except Shady. I texted and called, no answer. After about 30 minutes, I suggested we start planning. We started discussing ideas, games, and venues. I mentioned that I was thinking of some elegant venues, but that they could be pricey. I'm a little bit older and more financially established, so I offered to cover the cost of the venue, restaurant, hotel, studio, and if the other bridesmaids wanted to focus on games, decor, flowers, and theme ideas. They were relieved and agreed since they're still in or just out of college. Yeah, that's super nice. I know anytime I've been in a wedding, or I think this is like a general universal feeling, you're so excited, but then you also have that dread of the financial aspect of it, and it takes away from it. So for you to do that, that's like such a blessing, and I know that they appreciated it. After 45 minutes, Shady shows up and apologizes for being late. We recap everything. She doesn't offer any ideas. She just listens. She might not know the bride, though, very well, like well enough to contribute. So as someone who's socially awkward and overthinks about everything I say because I don't want to say the wrong thing when I'm around people I don't know, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here. But we're going to keep reading. We all chat a bit. Well, okay. Being 45 minutes late is unacceptable. But you never know. Like, it could be like there was a car accident and she was stuck in traffic from that or something. She should have mentioned that. But I'm still trying to play devil's advocate and benefit of the doubt.
Good luck with that.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see. We all chat a bit, get to know each other, and Shady seems friendly, outgoing, and pleasant. We end the meeting with the plan that I'll tour venues and update the group chat, and everyone else will contribute ideas for games, decor, and themes. The following week, I took a few days off work and toured several venues. I took photos and shared them in the group chat. The other bridesmaids responded with comments like how beautiful they were, questions about space and menus, etc. They showed pictures of game ideas and themes, etc. Shady said nothing. That weekend, I went to my sister's place to show her everything in person. She casually mentioned that Shady and her boyfriend had been over earlier that day to spend time with her and her future hubby. Then my sister tells me Shady had already shown her all the venue photos and ideas from the group chat. She then showed my sister's pictures of a friend's large mansion, complete with floor pans, and suggested hosting the shower there instead with catering. My sister really liked that idea. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I'm throwing the benefit of the doubt thing out the window. Like, it's okay to have an idea, but why would she not bring it to the group chat first? I told my sister if that's what she wants, I support it. I want her to be happy and have the shower she wants. But I feel like the rug was pulled out from under me. Yeah, because that's not, like, it's not like a glaring red flag that she kind of went over your head because, like, maybe she doesn't know you that well. She's embarrassed about showing up late. But the fact that, like, she went over your head is still weird. Like, why would she? There is literally a group chat specifically for this reason. I don't know. Weird. It is shady, to be quite honest. I did the planning, the legwork, the touring, and shared everything with the group. Shady said nothing in the chat, then went directly to my sister behind the scenes with some other plan that she did not want to share with the bridesmaid group. Was this shady behavior, or am I overreacting? Do I confront Shady or keep quiet to avoid drama during my sister's wedding? So, I feel like as a recovering people pleaser, I don't know. Like, I would confront her, but I don't know if it would be like a full-on confrontation. I think it would be like a, hey, I heard that you went to so-and-so about this. Like, I would love to see it. Next time, like, do you want to drop? Or I'll pull her to the side and kind of put the ball in her court and be like, was it something we said? Do you just not feel comfortable? Like, I want to understand why you didn't do this. Like, why you didn't share with us if there's anything we could do to make you more comfortable. Sound like you're coming from a place of, like, concern for her versus hurt and, like, clocking her for being shady. Because it's a lot harder for her to, like, be mad at you for being concerned about her or to clap back at you if you're just concerned about her. You catch a lot, what is it? You catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar, you know? Kill them with kindness and see what happens. Update number 1 is 11 days after the original post. Update, somehow things got worse. This is long. Sorry, all. Remember when I said I didn't want to cause drama for my sister? Well, I failed. After my sister told me she wanted to go with Shady's mansion shower plan, I decided to be an adult and call Shady directly. She didn't answer. Okay, pause. Going back to the mansion, the first thought I had when I read this is, what if there is no mansion or the mansion falls through? What if Shady doesn't like the bride and she doesn't want this wedding to go through for some crazy reason? Who knows? A lot of times they have a secret love for the future hubby and, you know, they just don't want it to go through, so they just are a jerk for no reason. I don't know. It could be a million and one reasons. But what if there is no mansion? What if the mansion gets canceled? What if she never books the mansion or never talks to her friend about it and then just, like, says that she does, but it got canceled? That was where my mind went. I don't ever like doing favors like that. Like, when I want something to be 100% set, I need to be the one who is signing the contract and making the plans. Like, it's not a friend of a friend type situation, because there's just too many things that could go wrong, and she's already being shady. So while it's beautiful, I would need to, like, talk to the mansion owners in person, have a contract, all of that. I sent a polite text saying I had spoken to my sister, she mentioned the mansion idea, and I was just confused about how the group chat plan pivoted into a fully formed alternate event. Very calm, very just trying to understand. She texted back instead of calling. She said she doesn't have a sister of her own and really wants to do this for my sister. Okay. She did not address why she didn't bring this up in the group chat. Then she added she already has a menu planned. My sister agreed to it. She will be covering the cost, and all the bridesmaids have to do is show up and enjoy. Oh, and she plans to use one of the games we discussed in the group chat. Excuse me? Now she's throwing the shower? Featuring one recycled game from the peasants. I know I'm not paying anything for this, so she's not looking to take advantage of my generosity. I probably shouldn't have, but I responded that this was something I'd really wanted to do for my only sister, and I was disappointed I didn't even get to be a part of it. Then I called my sister to explain the conversation. My sister said, yes, she's good with this plan, this is what she wants, and I can just focus on the bachelorette party. If this is what she wants, fine, I will swallow it, but I feel disappointed, replaced, weirdly pushed out, so I sent a neutral message to the group chat saying that Shady would be taking over the shower planning and that it would be at her friend's home. Back up a tiny bit. Your sister said to just focus on the bachelorette party. Well, what if Shady takes over that and doesn't tell anyone either? Is she just going to go with that too? Like, you know, we got to set these boundaries ahead of time. I get it. Like, it's what the bride wants. And that's not the issue. I think the issue is the lack of communication. It feels like she's going behind everybody's back. Like, she's trying to one up. And that's where it's icky. Let's continue reading, though. My phone rang immediately. One of the bridesmaids, we'll call her Sweetie, calls me absolutely shocked because she knew how passionate I was about doing this for my sister. I explained what happened. She was upset for me and asked if I wanted her to call Shady and find out why she left us out. And here's where hindsight punches me in the face. I said sure. Yeah. I mean, if she wasn't, like, already friends with Shady, I don't know if that was a great idea. Like, if you're going to be a double agent, it needs to be someone who is already infiltrated that friend group and is in your friend group, you know? You can't just add someone in. Sweetie calls Shady. Shady answers. Apparently, Sweetie did not love the responses she got. They argue. Shady then calls my sister. My sister then calls me. My sister was upset because there's conflict. I tried calming her down, but I ended up getting upset too, and I yelled. I did apologize, but in that moment, I realized my sister just wanted me to quietly make this work and not create waves. And I had just created a tidal wave. How did we get here? I mean, Shady did start it. You just perpetuated it. You didn't finish it. You perpetuated it.
Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them.
And I think that you should have just nipped it in the bud. But you didn't start it. I'll say that. Shady did. So I hope that your sister gave that same speech to Shady. Because why is Shady the victim here? Fast forward to this past weekend. We had an unrelated event where all the bridesmaids were present, along with family, and I met my sister's future in-laws for the first time. Shady was there. She did not speak to me. Not once. Instead, she stayed glued to my sister's fiancé and his mother. That's weird. When I met the future mother-in-law, with Shady standing right there, I immediately got the vibe that she was annoyed with me. Curt, polite but distant. And I couldn't help but wonder what version of the story had been told on that side. I stayed near my sister the whole event. She seemed happy. Sweetie stuck by us too. But there is now this very obvious divide with Shady, and I feel terrible. I never wanted to make my sister's wedding messy. I just wanted to throw her a beautiful shower. Now somehow it feels political. So now I'm asking, did I mishandle this? Is this a pick your battle situation and I picked wrong? Was I reasonably hurt and this spiraled beyond what I intended? Because right now, I feel like I accidentally became the villain. No, I think that the other bridesmaids are just choosing a side, which you can't control. Like, maybe you couldn't have sent that in the group chat, but I feel like the rumor mill would have gone either way. Like, you had to tell them, hey, we're having a bridal shower and it's at a completely different location and nothing we've talked about is going to be included except for one game. So as long as the message that you sent really was pretty neutral, I don't think that you really did anything wrong. You saying sure, I don't know. You didn't tell her to pick a fight. You didn't tell her to go argue. You could have told her not to, but I don't think that necessarily like you were intentionally starting fights and like being messy. I think that you're just hurt. So here's some relevant comments. Commenter 1 says, damn, that Shady has screwed you over. Sadly, you played right into her hands, and now she's the one to be seen doing what the bride wants. And you're the bad guy. To be honest, though, as long as your sister is happy, I'd just let the drama fade away now. Totally understand why you're both hurt, though, and I don't think that you're the a-hole. OOP said, thanks for your response. I think this is probably the best way. I appreciate you saying I'm not the a-hole and understand why I'm hurt. I don't think my sister understands that. Maybe that's why this feels unresolved and uncomfortable. Now I've got to interact with Shady for the next few months for wedding activities and act like everything is okay. So multiple people asked if there are any chances that Shady likes the future brother-in-law and is jealous that he's getting married to OOP's sister. And OOP said, nah, I don't think so. They've been friends for many years and he was single for a long time before he met my sister. I do think she appreciates his friendship and wants to be involved to a significant degree, but wasn't happy with me being in charge or leading something she wanted control of. So is it like a pick-me situation where it's like, I don't want him, but I want like his validation and like his praise? Does that make sense? Like, I've met pick-me's where it's like they don't necessarily want to be with a guy, but just any guy in general, they will like do the most because they want their validation. And is it like that type of situation? I don't know. Another commenter says, your sister is an a-hole and owes you an apology for allowing this friend to treat you so badly. I hope you tell your sister that if she thinks her friend is more of a sister to her, then you'll be stepping back. Your sister is in the wrong here, not only her bad friend. OP said, I didn't really think about this perspective. She really is dismissing my feelings about what happened. I'm not going to step down from being maid of honor. I love her and I will give her grace about this. There might be more going on behind the scenes than I know. I know Shady brought this up when spending time with my sister and my future brother-in-law. I could see my future brother-in-law possibly pushing for this if he thought it was a good idea too, as he is pretty opinionated. This is just speculation though. There is a new update, which is the one we're most interested in. It's a little bit long, and it's from May 5th, 2026, so nearly 3 months later. So the hijacked shower was this past weekend, and I have to admit, it was beautiful. Elegant, polished, and honestly, anything better than what I would have put together. Aw. I mean, I'm glad it was real, and it wasn't just like her doing what I thought she was gonna do, so my bad, guys. I received an invitation like any other guest, no mention of helping, no role, just show up. A few days before, I even texted Shady asking if I could bring anything. Her response? Just bring yourself. So that's what I did. I had family coming in from out of town for the shower, so a few of my aunts and cousins met at my house and we all drove together in multiple cars. Some of them stayed with me for the weekend. When we arrived, well, this place was something else. A massive gated home, like movie level fancy. Fountain out front, sweeping steps, pillars, the whole thing. Immediately, I was like, okay, this is not your average shower. Shady greeted us at the door, all air kisses and charm, thanked us for coming, and swept us inside like she was hosting a gala. Wait. But it's not her shower either. That would weird me out a little bit. I don't like that Shady's greeting everyone, but she is a bridesmaid, so it's not the end of the world. Honestly, the setup was stunning. The hors d'oeuvres were elegantly plated, looking like art displays. It was classy, coordinated, and way more formal than anything I would have planned. Stop putting yourself down! I'm pretty sure she saw the look on my face, too, a mix of awe and OMG. She gave this little half smile before moving on to the next guest. Whatever. Like, you can compliment someone without putting yourself down, and I think that that's what I'm trying to say. Like, way more formal than anything I would have planned. Don't say that. Just say, like, wow, this is very classy and coordinated. Really cool. Love to see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just, even when you're talking to yourself, because we don't want to put ourselves down even inside of our own heads, because you spiral. It goes downhill quick. I knew about half the room, which was my family, so I spent time catching up. I also made the rounds, introduced myself to people I didn't know, got to know my sister's future family, sister's future mother-in-law, polite but still cold. I also tried chatting with Shady's inner circle. We'll call them snotty, snooty, and stuck up. And yeah, short responses, not exactly welcoming. Fine. But then I started noticing something else. My family members seemed uncomfortable, and that's not us. We're loud, competitive, and we love shower games. Usually it turns into chaos in the best way. This time, people are subdued, hesitant, and quiet. Meanwhile, my sister was on cloud 9. She was glowing, making her rounds, but mostly sitting with Shady and her crew. She looked like she felt like a princess. I'm happy for her. It sounds like she's trying to be someone she's not. Or like, maybe she isn't like your family. Maybe she is more like this, and this is more her world. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think that your family being like a fish out of water and being in a situation where they aren't as familiar with what they typically do is enough to make all of them quiet. So that's weird. I'm glad that your sister is happy and living life like a princess. Like, that's what we all want. But I'm also like, why is she only hanging out with Shady and her crew? Like, why is she not talking to your family, making them feel comfortable at the bridal shower? Like, if she doesn't care enough about them being comfortable, why did she invite them? Like, just don't invite them. If you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that for weddings, if you don't care enough about the feelings of the people that you're inviting, maybe you shouldn't invite them. Hot take, guys. When Sweetie arrived, she gave me a look that perfectly matched what I felt walking in. No words needed. Then came the games. Shady led them, along with her trio. Wait. They're not bridesmaid. Why would they do it and not you? And like, see, there were opportunities where you guys could have been included, and she should have allowed you to be included because she knew how passionate you were about it. You guys are the bridesmaids. It's like she quite literally hijacked it and is including people that aren't the bridesmaids. Like, it would have just been a really easy way to include you guys, and then everybody, I feel like, would have been happy. The room we moved into looked like a luxury hotel lobby. The family members that participated were reserved and surprisingly less enthusiastic. It made me more aware of the differences between the families, and that many of my family members seemed like they felt like they were out of place. Fast forward to later that evening. My sister and her fiancé came over to my house to spend time with the out-of-town relatives. Everything was typical until my future brother-in-law said something. One of my cousins casually asked why I hadn't thrown the shower. Before I could even answer, my future brother-in-law jumped in and said, "It's actually inappropriate for his sister to host a bridal shower." What? Okay, no. I mean, I was one of my sister's maid of honor. She had like 2. And my mom hosted my sister's bridal shower, and then my sister's like mother-in-law. But I was there, like I helped set it up. I made sure everything went smoothly. Like, that is, I'm pretty sure like most people I know, their sister is like their maid of honor and helps host these things unless they have like a strained relationship. I feel like that's pretty normal, pretty standard. Again, maybe that's just my region, like where I'm from, how I grew up, but like as far like I know people that grew up in different places and their sisters still have a heavy say in that kind of stuff and they're still involved in that. So that's weird, especially coming from a man. Like, what do you know about bridal parties and bridal showers, sir?
Dude, this is a Wendy's restaurant.
I was a bit shocked. I looked at my sister. She didn't react. She was playing with my kid, but I know she heard it. And I started thinking there was possibly more behind the hijacking. Was Shady placed as a mole to purposely take over the shower so there would be a standard that would meet future brother-in-law's family's expectations? Ooh, good point. My future brother-in-law's family is quite affluent, and while that's never been an issue in our interactions before, it did make me consider whether expectations around the event may have influenced what happened. Like, I definitely can see it, I just don't understand why it matters that much. Like, I get it. I definitely understand, like, it shouldn't matter, but it does. But to go this far is crazy. My brother-in-law knows our family. He's been to our parties. He knows they're fun, loud, and definitely not formal. And his family, they're wealthy. Like, very wealthy. It's never been an issue before. He's usually easygoing, but he does have noticeably expensive taste. My thing is, me, Grace, I'm hijacking this story now. Why doesn't he, like, if that was such a big deal, why didn't he offer to, like, pay for the venue? And some might argue it's not appropriate for the future groom to pay for the venue, but, like, if it's that big of a deal, he wants that much control, why not just be like, you deserve to have it here? Like, there's a way to say it, like, I love you, I think that you deserve a bridal shower that you're going to remember forever, you should have it here, I will pay for it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Especially, it's 2026 where, like, Josh and I are going to be paying for our wedding together. Just the two of us. I doubt we're going to have any help from anybody, and I'm not expecting help from anybody because it's 2026. Like, if we want to have an extravagant wedding, yes, that's our money to spend. That's our extravagance to create. Like, it's nobody else's responsibility. We're not going to ask anybody else to go into debt for us. Like, so I don't know. I feel like, especially in 2026, I get how old money families tend to be more traditional and don't want to do stuff like that. But if he really cared that much, that would have been a better way to go about it. So I'm wondering, did he step in behind the scenes? Did he think what I would have planned wouldn't be good enough? Which is correct. I would have planned something less formal, more laid back. And if so, why not just say something instead of this weird takeover? I'm flexible. That's what I'm saying. Or he could have, like, gone to you instead of her and been like, I love her. I really want this to be for her. Like, if it would have come from him instead of Shady, I think it would have made all the difference in the world. And even then, like, even coming from Shady, if you guys would have been involved, I feel like it would have made all the difference in the world. I'm really not too upset anymore over what happened. I just have the feeling that people did shady things around me rather than just communicate. This was too blatantly weird to just happen this way. Oh well, on to the bachelorette party planning. Oh my gosh, that was the last update. I really need to know what happens with the bachelorette party because I guarantee that they're gonna be like, we're going to Monaco, and I'm paying for it, and you're actually not invited because we're inviting my 3 friends instead. Bye. Or they don't say anything, and then they just come back and they're like, hey, we just had the best time in Dubai, bachelorette party, woo! And it's like an Instagram story, and the sister sees it. I don't put anything past people like this. I'm gonna be honest, there is a lengthy comment, but I don't know if I can read it because my sinuses feel so bad. So if you guys want to read the comments about the update and everything in general, go ahead and click the link in the description. I'll have all 3 of them down there for you to do your detective work away. I'm sorry. I'm on, like, it's been a week now of being sick, and I can't read anymore. I'm dying. I'm so sorry. I probably sound weird. This is just, like, not the best. But we're getting through it together. Like, you guys, I'm gonna need your opinions on all of these because I may have missed the mark with my brain being a little foggy. I would love to know all the tea. What do you guys think? Do you have similar experiences? But that is pretty much it. I love you guys so, so much. I hope that you're having a great weekend. I'm gonna go give my dog a bath and then take a nap because Josh's birthday is tomorrow, and I hope I still don't feel like this then, but, you know, with the way things are going, signs are not pointing to greatness. But that's pretty much it. That's enough of negativity from me. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you like hearing stories, but you don't want to be, like, a part of the drama, exactly, you just want to be on the sidelines, giving your opinion, that's me. I love it. You love it. Go ahead and hit that follow or that subscribe. Don't forget to hype, like, comment, whatever the term is. Don't forget to engage. It's free, takes literally no time at all, and helps me reach my dream. Like, this is seriously a dream come true. Every single subscriber or follower I get, I see you, I cherish you, and I love you so, so much. That is pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the flippity flip. Bye, guys. bye.